First, a disclaimer. If you're an epileptic, you may want to turn off this video now. I'll be scrolling through Pennsylvania's heavily redacted medical marijuana permit applications, which will create a shutter effect between black and white screens. The State Department of Health has announced the winners of the first round of medical marijuana permits. That includes 12 facilities where cannabis will be grown and processed into medicine, and 52 dispensaries where approved patients and their caregivers can purchase it. Pennsylvania began accepting applications in late February and ultimately received 457. It processed, scored, and announced permit recipients in just over 4 months. Outside observers commended the state for its efficiency, but also questioned the transparency of the process. Initially, the DOH did not plan to release applications alongside the announced winners, but it reversed course. The materials it made public, however, came heavily redacted. Applicants were instructed to submit their own redacted applications based on what they considered proprietary information. The result? For some applicants, we don't know who's actually behind these companies, how they're funded, or even innocuous elements such as their diversity plans. And because the redactions were left at the discretion of the companies, there's little consistency from one company's application to the next. Some were incredibly transparent, even making public the amount they paid for land or leased property. Others were so heavily redacted they provided little useful information. The state made its own redactions, which are labeled either Department of Health or DOH. It has not released a line-by-line accounting of its redactions, but state officials say they were made in compliance with the right-to-know law. That blocked such elements as social security numbers, bank routing numbers, personal phone numbers, and information about security plans. Any inconsistency, the DOH says, is due to the applicants. Why is this important? For one, you don't have to look very far to find examples where a state's lack of transparency contributed to lengthy legal battles that delayed the delivery of medicine to patients. Maryland is just one example of this. Second, many of the companies that received permits are actually subsidiaries of larger nationwide entities. The redactions make it difficult to understand who's actually running these businesses. Third, outside observers say that releasing more information could ward off lawsuits because companies that didn't receive a permit could see where their applications fell short and how they could improve their odds in future attempts. It's important to note, however, this will be a highly litigious process as stakeholders with deep pockets jockey for position. Stay tuned.